Thank you so much for hosting us. My name is Andreas. I'm from Mexico originally, and I have a bit of a follow-up question to the media industry that you were just talking about. As you mentioned, it's a rapidly evolving landscape. It's coming from from the model that you were taught in the 50s into evolving into a very decentralized landscape of a lot of content creators. Can you talk a little bit about maybe some of the interesting models that you've seen working here in India or abroad, or you've seen a successful collaboration between government or manager and this?
Absolutely, Andres. I think the biggest challenge today for structured media and media houses, whether it's in print or television, is independent content creators. The paradigm is moved in the favor of independent content creators, where individuals are actually generating more traction than companies altogether. And that goes to show that we are doing something wrong and we're doing something inefficiently. And we at our company were one of the first people to actually realize that and start working towards it. Today, news as a general commodity does not have many takers, because everyone wants to know what they want to know at the point they want to know. It's not gone are the days where they will show you what you want to see and you'll buy that. You're only buying what you want to read. I mean, you're pretty much made up your mind before you want to read it. So, that's the change. People are far more informed. We have some typical problems in India. I mean, I don't know if you know or not, but while newspapers have almost stopped printing in many parts of the world, India still was the fastest growing newspaper market before COVID. And that is because of the demand and supply gap between the literacy rate in India. So even people who are, to explain it further, I'll say those who are educated and literate can read and write and can form an opinion on their own. Those who aren't would consume video content, and they get influenced far more than video content than actually text content, because their basic sensibility to define right and wrong is already established, because they have been literate and they're educated. Whereas the uneducated people get far more influenced by video content, and that's something which you've seen, which is very typical to India. Now, we can't take a China example, because you don't have that in China, where you don't have freedom of expression in the sense that you do in India, where you can say whatever you want to say. And that's a very, very big factor, because that changes things very, very fundamentally. I think in the last, we've seen like I said, the Indian democracy has been very vibrant, very resilient. We've seen highs and lows in India. We've gone to the point where we've seen emergency being imposed in India, where during a certain government, the fundamental rights of every citizen were suspended for a long period of time. And from that point to a resilient democracy in the way we've seen in the last couple of years, I think we've come a long way from that point. Also, if you look at the neighborhood that India has been, or all the other countries which got independence when India got back in 1947, whether it's Pakistan, Bangladesh, anyone around us, I think we have been able to build a very stable democratic setup, which is managed to grow in spite of the problems that we have, in spite of the uniqueness, I would say, and the vibrance that India has, because of diverse cultures, religions. Being a democratic country, we have to abide by the rule of law. We have infrastructure, growth. And I must give the credit to the Honorable Prime Minister. I'm an independent member of Parliament. I don't prescribe to any political party. But I would say that I'm really influenced by him, because he is the most successful story that independent India has seen in the longest time. You see, if you look at his life story and his background, he started off at a very humble beginning and started off on a tea stall selling as tea. From that point to becoming the Prime Minister of a country, he has actually been able to inspire confidence in the youth of the country, because, nothing succeeds like success. And the best aspiration is success, a model of success. And that is what the Honorable Prime Minister has done. Not only that, the way infrastructure changes have been made, the way policies have been implemented, the way ease of doing business has been done in the country, the way which has allowed us to grow exponentially in different manifestations. All of that has been possible in the last 8 years at a very exponential rate. That is something which, today we are the 5th largest economy in the world, growing at 7% year on year. Whereas, when the rest of the world is right now, looking at a slowdown and with a much higher inflation rate, we are still in a very good position because our fundamentals are very strong. And the way the India story is growing or is poised to grow, I think a number of factors, because of the government's policies, are responsible for it. Whether it is the systematic change on bringing everything into the formal economy, whether it was demonetization. I mean, people very often question these decisions, but it has actually helped fuel the growth of the country. And all I can say is that we are looking for a very bright future.